The Last Heist. In the bustling city of Vijaypura, there lived a notorious thief named Ravi. He was swift, clever, and always managed to escape the grasp of the law. For years, he had outwitted the city guards, sneaking into wealthy homes and disappearing into the night like a shadow. But Ravi had one rule: he never stole from the poor. His targets were always the rich merchants and noblemen, those who had more than they needed. This earned him a strange kind of respect among the city's poor, though the law still saw him as a criminal. One day, Ravi overheard something that made his heart race. The Maharaj's royal treasury was going to receive a shipment of gold and rare jewels, the wealthiest loot he had ever dreamed of. This he thought would be his final heist before retiring forever. The palace was heavily guarded, but Ravi had studied its security for years. He knew the shift timings, the secret underground passages, and even had an informant, a palace cook named Gopal, who admired Ravi's cunning. "Are you sure about this, Ravi?" Gopal whispered as they met in a quiet alley. "The gods have doubled since the last break-in. If they catch you, there's no escape." Ravi smirked. "This is my last job, my friend. After this, I will disappear forever." Gopal sighed, "Then listen carefully. The gold is being kept in the east wing, inside a locked vault. The key is with the Maharaj's trusted minister, but he never lets it out of his sight." Ravi nodded, formulating his plan. He had one night to pull off the biggest robbery of his life. As midnight approached, Ravi slipped into the palace through a forgotten underground tunnel. The air was thick with dust and rats scurried around his feet. He moved quickly, emerging inside the palace storage chambers. Dressed in the attire of a palace guard, Ravi blended in as he walked towards the east wing. His heart pounded, but his face remained calm. He had learned long ago that confidence was the best disguise. The minister's chamber was heavily guarded, but Ravi was not just a thief, he was a master of deception. He threw a small stone towards the other end of the corridor. The guards turned in surprise. "What was that?" one of them muttered. "I will check it out," said the other, walking away. This was the moment Ravi needed. He slipped into the minister's room, where the man was fast asleep, snoring loudly. The key gleamed on a chain around the minister's neck. Ravi moved with cat-like precision, lifting the chain without making a sound. With the key in hand, he slipped back out before the guards returned. The vault door stood tall, an imposing iron structure with intricate carvings. Ravi inserted the key and turned it. The door creaked open, revealing mountains of gold, glittering jewels, and silk pouches filled with silver coins. For a moment, Ravi stood in awe. He had stolen many things in his life, but this was beyond anything he had ever seen. Wealth enough to live 100 lifetimes. He grabbed as much as he could carry, stuffing gold coins and precious gems into a sack. But just as he was about to leave, he heard something that sent a chill down his spine. The guards had discovered the open vault. "Thief, stop him!" Ravi darted out, moving through the dark corridors like a shadow. Guards shouted, their swords clanking as they ran after him. He leaped over a balcony, landing in the palace garden. The main gate was too far, but he had one last trick: the underground tunnel. He sprinted toward it, but just as he reached the entrance, he felt a sharp pain in his shoulder. An arrow had grazed him. He stumbled but kept running, disappearing into the tunnel just as the guards reached the spot. Bleeding but alive, Ravi escaped into the night. By sunrise, Ravi had reached a hidden shack on the outskirts of the city. He planned to rest and count his loot before vanishing forever. But as he opened the sack, his heart sank. It was filled with stones. Ravi stayed in disbelief. He had risked everything, but there was not a single gold coin in his sack. Then it hit him: Gopal. The cook had tricked him. He must have switched the bags before Ravi escaped. Ravi felt anger rising in his chest, but then, for the first time in years, he laughed. "Well played, my friend," he murmured. He had been the city's greatest thief, but in the end someone had outsmarted him. As he sat there, bleeding and exhausted, he realized that maybe this was fate's way of telling him his time as a thief was over. And so, Ravi vanished from Vijaypura, never to be seen again. Some say he became a merchant. Others whisper that he became a monk. But one thing was certain: the greatest thief the city had ever known had finally met his match. Moral of the story: greed leads to downfall. Even the smartest can be outwitted. Deception works both ways. If you deceive others, one day you will be deceived too. Every criminal faces an end. No matter how clever, a life of crime is never forever. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe.